Other people may say that, well, it's a way of spiritually elevating ourselves. That when we fast, we feel a sense of connection with the divine. We feel a sense of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Other people, they're going to say, well, there's health benefits. When we fast, there are incredible health benefits that science is just beginning to discover. Other people will say that it brings the community together. In a world where everyone is doing their own thing, they're living their own lives, Shahr Ramadan is the month when we all begin to come and sit together. Now, all of these answers of why we fast, they're correct. But there is a foundational reason that the Quran actually mentions. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time, inshallah, with this idea and this verse. What is the verse? The verse of the Holy Quran, it mentions the following. It says, Ya ayyuhalladina amanu. It's addressing the believers. O you who believe. Ya ayyuhalladina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba ala alladina min qablikum. Allah in this verse, He makes it very clear that we have prescribed fasting, we have commanded fasting upon you just like we have commanded previous people. Why? Allah, He finishes the verse with two words. لَأَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Allah, He says that so that you may become muttaqi. So you may have this quality of taqwa within yourself. Now here, you ask this question that what does it mean to have the quality of taqwa? Now, if you look at the English translation of taqwa, there is, mashallah, many different translations. Most of them, they don't do justice to the word. You'll see the word of piety. You know, I was born and raised in the West. I still don't know what piety really means. If you ask me the question, I don't know. Sometimes you see the word God-wariness. Now, that's getting a little bit closer, but even I don't know what God-wariness really means. What does it mean to be wary of God? The best translation and the best way to understand the concept of taqwa is the word God consciousness. Now, what does that mean? It means this idea that when you do certain things, you begin to become conscious of the presence of Allah. In a world in which we spend time doing everything but focusing on Allah, taqwa is the quality when you begin to have a level of God consciousness. Now, the question here is that what connection does taqwa, God consciousness, have with fasting? I don't know about you, but some days when I fast, I am so tired, I don't even have consciousness of those around me, much less Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your wife asks you a question, you can't even answer properly. Your children want to play, you don't have the energy to play. So why is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says you need to fast in order that you can develop this concept and this quality of taqwa? The answer is this, my brothers and sisters, that if you look at children, their entire desire, their entire focus in life, what is their focus? Oftentimes, maybe it's a piece of candy, it's a toy, that for hours and hours they're focusing, I want that piece of candy. And when you give them that piece of candy, it's as if their dunya is complete. They're very happy until at least the sugar runs out of their system, then they become sad again. But as we get older and older, what happens to us? Our desires begin to increase. Our responsibilities begin to get more complex. And as time goes on, what we find is that our minds become very busy. Our hearts become very busy. Our souls become very distracted. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Al-Khaliq, He is the Creator. And He knows something, that when we do something to our physical body, something begins to happen on the spiritual side. He knows that as I begin to reduce the extra food supply, what begins to happen? all of those desires that we thought we had, they begin to lessen. All of those thoughts, all of that busyness, you know, the lives that we are leading today, subhanAllah, my mind is in a million different places. My heart is getting pulled by this thing and that thing, and I don't even know where I'm going. When you begin to reduce that food supply, yes, of course.
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat Allahumma